Birds of a feather flock together. It's a polite, folksy idiom used to describe people with matching personalities or similar tastes. But Billie Eilish has built a career on taking familiar, lighthearted concepts and subverting them. At first listen, her track Birds of a Feather presents itself as a breezy, upbeat pop anthem. The production is snappy and bright, fitting the standard expectations of a summer hit. That cheerful title and bouncy instrumentation operate as a psychological trap. They lower the listener's defenses right before the song introduces a much darker theme. The opening lyrics immediately abandon the sunshine. Eilish tells her partner she wants to stay until she's in the grave and rotting away. The lyrical vocabulary is highly clinical and grim. She speaks of a casket the partner will carry and describes her body turning blue if they ever leave. Standard love songs usually offer idealized promises of a long life together. This track bypasses the life entirely, focusing instead on a fatalistic, shared decay. It raises a specific question: why would a song about interpersonal unity rely so heavily on the vocabulary of a morgue? To understand the morbid fixation in the first verse, we have to look at the psychological conflict established later in the song. The partner Eilish sings to isn't just a passive recipient of love. They are actively resisting it, stuck in a state of severe internal self-doubt. The narrator identifies the problem directly, claiming her partner's mind's polluted. This pollution manifests as a rejection of normal affection. The partner brushes off compliments as lies and repeatedly expresses a desire to quit the relationship. When someone is suffering from this level of self-rejection, gentle, light-hearted declarations of love aren't enough to reach them. The dark lyrics function as a calculated countermeasure. They are intended to pierce through the partner's self-hatred by escalating the stakes. To an insecure mind, a vague promise like loving you forever is easy to doubt. But the grave is a biological certainty, a solid barrier. Anchoring her commitment to the inescapable end of life creates a promise that can't be brushed off. Delivering this level of reassurance requires intense, almost combative emotional energy. In this context, the imagery of caskets and rotting is actually a safety net. It's the narrator's way of proving that she won't leave, even when the partner tries to push her away. The focus shifts from love as a passive, pleasant feeling to something more active, an unyielding defense of a partner's worth that refuses to accept their self-rejection. But even the biological limit of the grave isn't the final boundary of the song. In the closing moments, the timeline expands. She tells her partner, "I knew you in another life." This line shifts the narrative from mortal codependency to a larger cycle. If they have already found each other in the past, their bond isn't just a temporary choice, it's a recurring pattern. By suggesting their connection predates this life and will likely extend past it, the idiom "birds of a feather" takes on a much heavier meaning. It's no longer about matching personalities, but about a bond that repeats across time. The song concludes with a final, jarring auditory cue, a sudden burst of electrical buzzing. This harsh, distorted texture mirrors the friction described in the lyrics. It's a sonic reminder that this relationship isn't soft or easy, but is defined by a high-voltage, persistent effort to stay connected. This mix of the beautiful and the abrasive is central to Eilish's persona, making her a fitting messenger for such a complicated form of devotion. Ultimately, Birds of a Feather suggests that true loyalty isn't always pretty. Sometimes it requires confronting the most terrifying realities of existence just to prove you aren't going anywhere.